you're an atheist, right? Is that right?
I don't use the title because if I said it, people then assume things about me to be true that are not.
Okay.
And so I realized I have to put some distance between me. But I find myself unconvinced by any God that has been described to me as being in charge of anything.
So how do you think we all got here? How did it all start?
Well, I follow the lines of scientific evidence, and we know about evolution. We know about genetic commonality among all life forms on Earth, plant and animal, and fungal. And so this comes to us from very hard work invested in the biological sciences. You add some of that to the geology and astrophysics of the early solar system, and we go from raw ingredients drawn from the periodic table of elements forged in the hearts of stars that are everywhere in the universe, by the way. The ingredients of life, hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, that they're the most common ingredients in the universe. And for life to be based on them, it tells you that life is highly opportunistic. And in the early Earth, we went from organic molecules to self-replicating life. We still don't know how that happened. That's a biological frontier with top people.
So
working
what was
on
this? Here's my
Other
question.
Things, we don't know what was around.
Here's my question for you. If I was Merlin, this is what I'd be asking, right? Let's assume you're Merlin for a moment. Merlin, what was there before nothing?
We don't know.
Right. So here's
my point. It's okay to not know. That's the whole point of science.
No, but
the whole point of science is go where you don't know the answer.
That's why I believe in God, because there has to be a superior thing out there which can answer that question. The human brain cannot answer it because they can't, because nobody knows the answer. Therefore, there has to be, does there not, logically, a superior thing which can answer that question?
Yeah, so that's not an invocation of logic. That's an invocation of what philosophers have historically called the God of the gaps. The God of the gaps is, you look at where science has yet to tread, where science has yet to figure out, and you say, wow, that's mysterious. I don't know how that works. God must have done it. And by the way, for you to feel this way, there's a long, storied history of people thinking this way. Let's go back to AD 150, Claudius Ptolemy. Brilliant Alexandrian mathematician, polymath. He wrote in the margin of one of his greatest works, he said, after looking at the planets going back and forth, not fully understanding why they did this, and he writes, when I trace at my pleasure the windings to and fro of the heavenly bodies, I no longer touch earth with my feet. I stand in the presence of Zeus himself and take my fill of ambrosia. He was feeling it, okay? He's invoking religion. It's a beautiful quote. It's one of my favorite quotes ever, by the way, because it's so honest and so mysterious and so curious. And what I'm saying here is he did not understand the planets, and he invokes deity to help him out. That's what you just did, but on a different frontier, because we know why the planets go back and forth.